Welcome to another edition of the Let's Talk About Chess podcast. In episode number 16 I talked to Jeroen van den Berg, the tournament director of the Tata Steel Chess Tournament in Wijk Aan Zee. He told me some great stories about the event. The Wimbledon of Chess, as the tournament in Wijk Aan Zee is called, attracts the very best chess grandmasters in the world, and in non-COVID times, thousands of amateur players and visitors. During its 83 years of history, the Tata Steel Chess Tournament has attracted some of the biggest names in chess history. In this series, the Wijk Aan Zee Storytellers, you can hear some legends of the game telling stories about the greatest chess tournament in the world. I am your host Erik van der Reem. Relax and enjoy the show. Welcome listeners to another special edition of this podcast. I call it the Wijk Aan Zee Storytellers, and I have another elite grandmaster here with me. He was rated among the world's top 10 in 2001 with a rating of 2714. He won the Dutch Chess Championships on 8 occasions, and most importantly for this podcast, he participated in Wijk Aan Zee no less than 25 times. And his best result occurred in 2003 when he shared fourth with Alexei Shirov, Alexander Grishuk, Vasily Ivanchuk and Vladimir Kramnik. Welcome, Loek van Wely.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Yes, how are you doing right now at the moment, and where are you?
Well, right now I'm sitting tight at home and not playing in Wijk Aan Zee. But I'm also now in quarantine because last week I tested positive on COVID-19, but apart from that I'm doing pretty well. So just sitting out my time, and I hope to be running soon.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I hope that all the best for you then, of course. When I looked at some data and some statistics here, I saw that you played 25 tournaments in total, and there was just one gap in 2011 in which you didn't play. Can you tell me why you didn't play this one tournament or this year in 2011?
Yes, I think that year I decided to have my sabbatical, and because I felt like I needed to step away from chess to let's say to get back with to recharge my batteries and with some new energy and new flair and well, you know, the way I'm playing it normally it's quite energy consuming.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, okay, let's have a sabbatical. Having said that, being in a sabbatical, in my case, it meant I was still the second most active player of the Netherlands. Tiviago was the most active player, and I think in that year I still played like 100 rated games. But I consider myself not very as a chess professional, more like a chess tourist that year. Okay, in that summer, I think I played like 40 or 50 games in the US. So I was going on tour there and had some nice holidays with my wife there, and so didn't feel like I was as a chess professional, more as a tourist.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you skipped one. But of course, 25 tournaments, that's quite a lot. So it also makes a total number of 297 games in the highest group of Tata Steel. There are some players, of course, who played some more tournaments. Talked to John van der Wiel. He played 28 tournaments, if I can say, but not always in the highest group. You shared the 297 most number of games with one other player. Do you know which one?
Yeah, of course I know. It's Jan-Hein Donner.
Yeah.
Because once you reach when you when you start to look at records, and of course you cannot. You start to look at the list, and well, okay, of course you want to be the highest, but okay, I'm not. After the last edition I played, it was in 2017. I had the feeling, okay, this is. I had this unheimlich feeling, like this is not like my place where I belong anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean it's very hard to. You play with these guys like 2750 guys, and you cannot just go there unprepared and let's say, hey guys, okay, let's play some chess, and then you. And in my case, I didn't play on that level. These kind of tournaments for, let's say, for 1 year, it already gives you some kind of disadvantage. Then I think I came back from El Salvador in January, which is like a different time zone, different climate. I was not in the best form, and okay, it was all not very optimal. So finally, it resulted in a -6 result. And well, basically, if you want to play in Wijk Aan Zee, you have to work the whole year on high level. You cannot just go there and play chess. I mean, I'm not the most untalented guy, but I mean, all those guys are talented, but they're apart from that, they are also working hard. It's like, well, you go to some K1 fight, but the other guy has a knife. Yeah, so you're a big dog there. So, and then I thought, okay, man, still people remember me probably in a nice way, and let's try to keep those memories like that. So.
Yeah. But also the number of 25, you thought, well, 25, that's a nice number to stop.
Well, of course, it's a nice number to stop, but you actually you have to stop when you feel like this is the right moment to stop. And maybe I played for 1 year too many, but well, I mean, I have to say that, for example, my friend Timon, of course, like for me, big chess icon, and I cannot imagine myself, let's say, playing in the B group in Wijk Aan Zee, which I think it's for a chess legend like him, he doesn't belong there. And okay, he loves chess. Okay, I can understand it, but also, well, you want people to remember you in the way that you're playing guys like Kasparov, Karpov, and not, let's say, with all respect, some players in the B group, which, well, they normally should be happy to carry your shoes.
Yeah, but Wijk Aan Zee is, of course, a fantastic start for a lot of players, especially when we had the C group and the B group. I remember that Magnus Carlsen started in the C group when he was 12 or 13. So a lot of big careers started in Wijk Aan Zee, I think. Like, I think Magnus Carlsen is the best example. Don't you think so?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's generally speaking, Wijk Aan Zee is like for the Carlsen example, he grew up in Wijk Aan Zee, started playing the C group. I think he beat Sipke Ernst in a very nice way to win the C group, and I think he got the GM norm title even. So I myself, I played once in the B group, and I lost to all 3 Polgar sisters. And I finished last in the B group, so that was not a good way to start my Wijk Aan Zee love affair.
It was in 1990.
But 2 years later.
Yeah, it was in 1990.
Yeah.
But did they? Oh yeah, they played in the B group. Yeah, all 3 of them. Yeah, that was quite an. Also for the press, of course, a fantastic event where the 3 sisters came to Wijk Aan Zee, and but okay, yes. You lost to all 3 of them. That's not a good start for Wijk Aan Zee, of course.
Yeah, Yeah, and I was in high school, and the guys from high school, they were sending me postcards to Wijk Aan Zee, like kind of mocking you a bit. So it's a kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
But but 2 years later, I played in the A group, and I think halfway the tournament I was actually leading, so it can change quite quickly.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to ask you, because you started in 1992 in the A group. You didn't play in 1991 because I read that your parents wanted you to finish school first in 91. Is that correct?
No, actually, it was in '89. I was not allowed to play the B group because my parents thought my school was needed some more attention.
Mm-hmm.
And in '91, this was like my exam year, but probably I was also not invited. I think after finishing last in B group.
But how come that you were invited then in the A group? Because in 1 year later, did you make such a big progress then at the time?
Yes, because I think in summer '91 I won many tournaments, and I think that time I was like the highest rated international master in the world. I think I was like in my rating was like 2560. So at that time it was really huge.
Yeah,
and I think it was like in top 100 of the world. So yeah, I was like number 3 by rating in the Netherlands. So I think I deserved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 92. Yeah, you had a great start, 4 out of 5, winning against Jeroen Piket, John Nunn, and Yepishin. And but that's a fantastic start, of course, 4 out of 5. You ended 6 out of 13. You did not score a Grandmaster result. Was it a disappointing event? All when you're looking back at it, then?
Well, I mean, it first of all, it was nice to that okay, after you start to start off so well, I mean you get a lot of media attention. This was also something new, but so from this respect, you managed to draw the attention, so that's always nice. But okay, that you started off so well and didn't win the tournament is well, of course, a disappointment. But okay, it also shows that Wijk Aan Zee is such a tough tournament and such a long tournament, and when you're not experienced to play these long tough tournaments, then yeah, you should realize it's not a sprint. Yeah, and I think in round 6 I got tricked by Victor Korchnoi. The old fox, he tricked me and slamming on the clock and kind of trying to intimidate a young boy. Yeah.
Yeah, you were 19, at the time.
Yeah, and so and then okay, you have to readjust, which is not so simple. And other guys they are watching you how you play. I remember like. They realized, for example, Yasser Seiwan, he realized that you're a very tactical player and they try to play as positional as possible. They're kind of adjusting their strategy. And you simply have one modus, like you just go forward and you see where you end. You cannot really change direction of your train. It's just only one direction.
Yeah.
So that's why I lost some games to I think to Seiwan, and I think also against John van der Wiel, which of course was not necessary to lose if you don't want to lose to Johnny Boy. But the guy is using your ambition against yourself.
Yeah, just looking here at the table, yeah, you lost against him. Yeah. I just checked it. Yeah, correct. Yeah, and he ended also with 6 points. So You ended at the same number of points. Did you kind of develop a strategy in those 25 tournaments you played, playing these long tournaments? You said that it's not a sprint. You realize it's not a sprint with starting 4 out of 5, but you have to keep the pace during the whole tournament. Did you adjust a bit later on and say, well, okay, let's start slowly perhaps and try to get some better results at the end of the tournament, or just the other way around perhaps?
Yeah, well, my strategy is actually not okay. You cannot win the tournament in the beginning, but you can lose it. So if don't screw up in the beginning of the tournament. So don't start badly. And I had many tournaments that I started badly, like 0 out of 2 the first weekend, and then it's a long tournament, and you're going to suffer for a long time. And it happened a bit too often that in the beginning of the tournament that I missed my chances, and you start off with a bad feeling, and then it's really hard. So, but okay, I prefer not to let's say to lose any games in the beginning. But on the other hand, I have also my ambition. So it's like it's a battle between those two. Like I'm pushing, but I don't want to lose. So.
It's not easy to go through those 13 rounds of chess, and you have it is difficult. Every day you have a strong opponent, of course, and you also have to prepare a bit.
Yeah, no, but okay, but basically in Wijk Aan Zee, it's like it's not like really something special, because you have had players like whatever Caruana, Ivanchuk, Morozevich, who all had, let's say, tough times. It actually doesn't matter who you are. Once they realize that you are in bad shape, you're basically really screwed there. Because it's going to be a long tournament and everybody's going to pick on you. It doesn't matter who you are. And I also remember one year, I was not in my best form, but I was playing Fabi. And he was in worse shape, and basically, I'm pushing against him, and I managed to beat him. I don't know how he finished, but maybe like -4 or something. And that time he was like 2780. So it's not. The Wijk Aan Zee is a devilish place.
You said just earlier on a bit, it is never nice to lose against Johnny Boy, John van der Wiel. And I heard Jordan van Verrees said this earlier this week. It's nice that he was the best Dutch player last year, but it is not important for him. He wants to win the event, he said. Has there always been a kind of a rivalry between the Dutch players in this tournament? I always got the impression, because I was there quite often as well, that a lot of more audience came when some top Dutch players played against each other in the A group to watch the games. Does giving you play against Timon, for example, or Van der Wiel or Jeroen, did it give you some more extra motivation to play against them, to show them that you're the best Dutch player?
Of course, there's prestige at stake, clearly, especially with Timon and Piket, and with Piket I was more like buddies, but buddies also fight hard on the board, But with Timon also there was always also in the media we were kind of delivering punches here and there, so this was kind of good, and I think also it was good for Timon, because it kept him sharp, like a young rival is coming and is teasing him and provoking him, challenging him. I think it was good for him, and I think we had many good years as at least 10 good years of rivalry. So this was excellent. So and I think also if you look at our games, they were always interesting games and hard-fought games. This public must have also have enjoyed it, and you have the let's say people. It was also good that you have people who support Timon, people support me. And the good thing is that we both not very boring characters, so it's that to be honest, okay, you don't have this rivalry with with Tivyakov or somebody like that.
Yeah, but it was the rivalry was the biggest with Timon, I think. Then, yeah, but Jan Timman, as you said, a lot of in the media, of course, and getting some puns and some nice interviews before the clashes, etc. Yeah, it was pretty nice. But you're on good terms with him?
Yeah, absolutely. And I also, as a director in Hogeveen, I invited him a few times, but also I respect him quite a lot, and I think he deserves more than he gets in the Netherlands. I think but okay, also it's maybe also a little bit his own fault I think he should be Mr. Chess in the Netherlands, not now it's Hans Beum who's selling himself as Mr. Chess, and because I think that Jan missed a big opportunity there just to sell himself well.
Okay. You played, as I said earlier, on 297 games, 43 wins. Do you remember what is your most remarkable game? What is the best game in retrospect? Which game should the players, should the listeners look up and play?
Well, it's hard to say, but let's say but I beat, for example, KingLoek twice in Wijk Aan Zee. It's I think in lifetime I beat him actually 3 times. So that's really some feat. From quality of games, I had one very nice game against Timon in King's Indian. I beat him in the King's Indian, some semis. I use it a lot for training purposes. And that's okay when you played so many games, and so I had a big win once against Aronian in the last round in Wijk Aan Zee, where actually I just swindled him, which is also kind of nice. And it's not that I had very few wins in Wijk. I had more losses, of course, than wins, but I had so many wins that I cannot even remember. This is
43 wins. Yeah, you always played very sharp lines. And you kept on playing sharp lines even when you lost. You're quite stubborn, aren't you? Playing some lines of the Sicilian, for example. You kept on playing and you got beaten like this. Yeah, but you still next game try again. That Loek van Wely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, one year I tried to play the Rubinstein French. It also didn't finish well. So it's not. I think I should simply have prepared the Sicilian better. That would have helped probably a lot. But people say that I should play the Berlin defense. But yeah, maybe they're right. But point is that people, they always remember the bloodbath where you're being massacred in the Sicilian. But and they don't remember the other games that where you didn't get mated, and then you play a normal game and then you outplay your opponent, and down the line, let's say my score wasn't bad. in the Sicilian, but people remember just the bloodbath. That's why. And talking about Sicilians, actually, and my memories, it was actually kind of interesting when I was watching the Queens Gambit. And so in episode 6, I saw Bev Harmon playing a blitz game against Benny Watts. And then at some point, I thought, well, this looks familiar to me. Okay. And also, at one point, she made some move, which gave me some. It started to resurrect some unpleasant feelings, and I thought, okay, I have to check this. This looks familiar to me, and it looks familiar to me to my game with Kasparov from 2000 in Wijk Aan Zee. And actually, it was exactly the same game where Kasparov made some incredible move, and so she made this move, and at the same time I had this feeling like the same feeling which I had during the game with Kasparov. It came back to me during watching the Queen's Gambit. Like, okay, what is this move? And it was. Because Kasparov was the advisor of the series, and he was actually so happy about this game, and he managed to squeeze it in.
Okay.
So it was kind of.
Was it? Yeah, there's also I think in this couple of chess magazines they replay kind of the positions in the Queen's Gambit, isn't it? And so you were credited in it or not? I think.
I didn't read it, but I noticed that. This was just my game with Kasparov for Wijk Aan Zee 2000, where it was very complicated position and all pieces were hanging, and then he made some move which kind of left all pieces hanging, and and she made the same move, and then I got to say that because. When you're watching the Queen's Gambit, you're watching it also as a chess player.
Yeah.
So and during watching this series, then this moment you think, oh, what is this move? And it was actually the same feeling I had when I was playing Kasparov.
Wow, that's quite must have been a strange feeling then. Like, okay, like reliving. You relive again this moment again, yeah.
Yes, and it was 20 years ago, but somehow the memories are still quite vivid, about this move.
Okay. Yeah, talking about sports, also in the Wijk Aan Zee on the 3 days there was always a football match. Organized by the organizers. You also played a couple of times in these matches, these football matches. And how do you like it?
Yes, actually, I have to say that we used to have a history that I was just renting a sports hall, and we went to play football with some friends. Yeah. And until, let's say, the organizer, they found out that we were doing this. And then they said, okay, why don't we organize this by ourselves? So once they organized it, and it was like we got shirts, we got shoes, it was nicely organized. But at the end of the day, was one player of the B group. His name was Jonov. He played the rest of the tournament in a wheelchair. And another player, he was from an organization. He went for 1 year in physical therapy.
After the football match, yeah?
After the football match, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, some people accused me that I was involved with this Jonas story, but I was nowhere to be seen. And actually, these kind of injuries are normally self-inflicted. So after that, the organizers, they said, okay, maybe we should take our hands off of this. This is too risky. We don't want to get involved anymore. Then yes, in Carlson times we used to play football a lot, but just like with a few guys on a field with stones and snow and everything. And well, it was like 3 against 3, 4 against 4, or something like 5 against 5, something like that, on a small field. It actually was kind of nice. And I remember one day I came back from the football, and so I was undressing myself and ready to go to the shower. And then my wife asked me like, okay, but look, what happened to you? And I said, okay, what do you mean? What happened to me? And she said like, okay, look at you, look at your body, yeah. And then it was all kind of bruises everywhere, and it was like me and Magnus, we were very physical, we were fighting for every inch on the field there, and especially on the snow, it's like with extra body checks and everything. So it was. Since then, it was actually a very hard rivalry with Magnus, especially on the football field. Yeah. Okay, on chess, I was also dangerous for him, but okay, normally he was getting the better of me.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, but he was always in danger of losing, but he was always getting the better of me.
Mm-hmm.
But in football, okay, we had it was kind of a equal fight, and then later, okay, we started to play at the Telstar Stadium. Mm-hmm. on the real pitch, which was actually kind of nice. I think it was also a very nice media event, I believe. But,
yeah, I can always. You don't see the chess players too often in shorts and football shoes. Yeah, so it's always nice to get some pictures then from those players. Yeah.
Yeah, but the what I didn't like is that because the field is so big, and so I had less chances to meet Magnus on the football field.
So it was a kind of a rivalry on the football field with Magnus. Yeah, that's nice to hear.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I think at some point, of course, I was always teasing him a lot, and so I think the matches were semi rigged. Like I think Magnus was supposed to score some goals and bet that if his team wins, and somehow I didn't manage to stop that.
Okay. And did everybody play with in the football match, or were it just always the same kind of people? Or did it just came for fun, or just to watch? Or and the worst player always gets is the keeper then? Is the goalkeeper the worst player?
Yeah. The usual suspects they were playing, but last time unfortunately I had Jordan van Verrees in my team. This was kind of that was not a big help, I have to say.
Okay. The football match shows a bit of this, social aspect as well from Wijk Aan Zee, from the tournaments. There's always, of course, the nightlife in Wijk Aan Zee after game parties. Can you tell me something a bit, and how did you participate in those long Wijk Aan Zee nights? Did you go to your hotel room? Well, did you go to your hotel room, prepare, or did you go out and have some fun and play some blitz games with friends or something?
Well, things have changed a lot, of course, because the problem is these days is once somebody starts working hard in the night, let's say others have to follow, because you don't want to have a disadvantage, and especially now since these days computers are a big help. It's and a lot of developments going on during the tournament. So it became less of a tradition to go to the bar after the game. Yeah, it's not the days of Timon and Tal and that could do whatever they want and play. Sometimes I was amazed at how some people can still perform well after having a big hangover. And I think also, now also a guy like Ivan Sokolov, I don't think he can take it any longer to have such a lifestyle. But okay, I remember that once I was sitting in my room. Okay, just take it easy. And then I got a call from Ivan Sokolov. He was in the Zonnebank. And he wanted to play blackjack. Okay, but to play blackjack, he needs somebody to deal the cards and to be the bank.
Sure.
So I told my wife, okay, I have to go because this is like money's waiting for me. Because Sokolov and playing blackjack is you just have to deal the cards and money is coming to you.
Okay. So he's not such a good blackjack player then?
Not at all, no. Can tell you many stories, but yeah, the house is a big favorite against Ivan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back in the days, after the round, I was maybe playing some blitz games with Piket or with other friends, which now you cannot imagine anymore. You want to save energy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to a restaurant and you play. After that, you play cards and have some drinks. But those days are gone. And also, if you look at there's no more afterlife after the game. Basically, if the press room is completely dead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, normally back in the days you are still analyzing with your opponent. A lot of people there and some chatting and but simply it has changed that much. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah, unfortunately, I know that especially in the press room, nowadays they come out of the playing hall, they do a short 2-minute statement for the organizer, and then it's off to the hotel room and see what the computers had to say about the game. Yeah, that's a pity that this bit of a after life after the games is gone now, of course. Yeah, but let's go back. I have a nice, it's kind of a pub question. Also for the listeners, perhaps, and also for yourself, Loek. Loek van Wely won the Hoogovens tournament once, but not in Wijk Aan Zee. Maybe that's a difficult question. Loek, can you remember? Tell me, when did you win the Hoogovens tournament?
Yeah, okay. I think by now I know and actually I didn't win the tournament because I shared first.
Yeah.
And I think I lost the tiebreaker even. And I to reveal you a little bit, in the regular tournament I was actually winning against Jan Timman.
Yeah, let's just tell a bit let's just tell to the listeners perhaps where it was, because Wijk Aan Zee, the Hoogovens tournament, when it was
Yeah,
called in
well,
1997, they decided to expand the tournament and do some experiment and go to the USA. And actually, they went to the city of Merrillville, which is near to Chicago, to play with the three best Dutch players. That was you, of course, and Timon and Piket against the three American players. The Yerminator, Alex Yermolinski, Jasper Sarawan, and the youth world champion at the time was Tal Shaket, or did I pronounce it right? Tal Shaket?
That's called Shaket, yeah.
Tal Shaket, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There was a kind of a match and also a tournament, Hoogovens tournament in the USA.
Yeah, me and Timon finished on 3.5 out of 5. And but I lost, I think, the first round to Timon, where I was winning, and then in the end it was very hard to win, and then I put my queen on priest.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I managed to come back, finished on 3.5, and then we had the blitz playoff, and he beat me there also.
But how was that experience in the US, playing a kind of Hoogovens tournament, not in Wijk Aan Zee, but in Merrillville, USA, of all places?
Yes, well, I didn't have the feeling that it was something like Wijk Aan Zee or Tata or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was just. I mean, I asked now the organizers, okay, because now, this year this is like a special edition, yeah, like with the COVID-19 restrictions. I asked them, but okay, why don't you organize in summer? Imagine to have a summer edition of Tata, huh? Because you always spend your time in winter there. Maybe once in a lifetime to feel how life is there in summer, yeah. That would be some special edition.
Yes. Have you ever been there in the summer? Just in between this question, have you ever been to Wijk Aan Zee in the summer? Have you ever seen the beach full of people lying there enjoying the sun instead of wearing gloves and hats?
Well, to be honest, I don't think I would go there out of free will to Wijk Aan Zee to go there to the beach. I think it sounds. First of all, I mean, I spent more than a year of my life in Wijk Aan Zee already.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I have to say that that my club, the KingLoek combinatie from Haarlem, every year they organize a weekend out with the club, and the last few years they decided to go to Wijk Aan Zee, and not just to Wijk Aan Zee, but of all places to stay in the same hotel where I've been staying for the last 25 years.
Okay.
So I'm not really dying to spend more time there. Okay, Carlson, he went once back in summer to see how it's Wijk Aan Zee in summer.
Mm-hmm.
But I would go back to Wijk Aan Zee in summer if they organize something in summer. But I think just in summertime, I think I prefer to play a tournament maybe in the Vlissingen or someplace like that.
Yeah.
Than to go to Wijk Aan Zee.
Yeah, but the Wijk Aan Zee summer edition, why not? Yeah, maybe there's something for the future. Yeah, it depends on how the situation will be in the future. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand they do it in winter time because the place is normally completely empty. Yeah, so they have now for 3 weeks.
It's easier to accommodate everybody, and not only the players but also the visitors and the amateurs, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to one of the last questions I have for you. If you could travel to with a time machine to one of the previous tournaments in Wijk Aan Zee, which one would you pick and why?
I would definitely want to relive the tournament with the 3 Polgar sisters. That was in 1990. My my first year in the A group in 92, and the year that I played actually kind of well in 2003, where I played really well, I have to say. And those were like for me, I guess the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, although maybe the first one, where from chess point of view it was not a very shining, but it's your first time in Wijk Aan Zee, and playing with the Polgars, it's also a special
edition. Yeah, okay. Special events. Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Do you think that we will ever see you playing in Wijk Aan Zee again? Now, perhaps that you're a politician. You were elected to the Dutch Senate last year in 2019. You can play in the tournament for politicians, don't you?
Yeah, I could, yeah, but it's not that I feel myself like a politician yet, but maybe one day that I will have that feeling. But but if you're used to play, let's say in Wijk Aan Zee in the A group, then it must be very strange to show up and play there like a politician. I think I'm not mentally there yet.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you very much for your time and for these great stories you told me here about Wijk Aan Zee. Wish you all the best, of course, and hope to see you again one day, maybe in Wijk Aan Zee, maybe somewhere else. Take care and thanks again.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Thank you for having me.
Dear listeners, I hope you enjoyed this special episode of the podcast. It is always a pleasure to talk to chess legends about their games and experiences, especially when they're talking about my favorite tournament. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave a tweet at Chess Classic or send a mail to talkingchess@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform. I am your host Erik van Reem. Thank you very much for listening.